Have you ever wondered why some people can still smile even after losing everything, while others who seem to have it all still feel empty inside? Today, I want to share with you a story that might change the way you see life forever. The story of a humble carpenter who taught the world one simple truth: nothing lasts forever. Long ago, in a small village by the river, there lived a carpenter named Raghav. He shared a modest wooden house with his wife and 2 daughters. Their life was simple, yet filled with laughter, warmth, and love. One evening, as the sun began to set, a wandering sage passed through the village. Seeing that the old man looked weary, Raghav kindly invited him into his home to rest, offering him a humble meal. Plain, but served with a grateful heart. After dinner, the sage blessed the family and said, "May your home always be filled with happiness and peace." Raghav smiled softly and replied, "Thank you, sir, but happiness is only a guest. Nothing stays forever." 2 years later, the sage returned to that same village. He soon learned that Raghav had lost everything. His workshop had burned down, and a storm had washed away his home. Now he lived in a small hut, working for others to feed his family. The sage visited him, feeling sorrowful. But when he saw Raghav, the carpenter was still smiling, calm, peaceful, unshaken. Raghav said gently, "What I have today may be gone tomorrow. But if my heart remains grateful, then I still have everything I truly need." Tears welled up in the sage's eye. In that poor carpenter, he saw the light of a soul that had awakened, someone who had found peace no wealth could buy. Years passed again. When the sage returned once more, he was astonished to see that Raghav had become the richest man in the region. His carpentry business had flourished, his new workshop stood tall and beautiful, and everyone in the village respected him deeply. The sage smiled joyfully and said, "What a blessing! The heavens have rewarded you for your kindness." But Raghav simply nodded and replied, "Blessings are like the wind, my teacher. They come and they go. Today they're here. Tomorrow they may be gone." Many years later, when the sage visited for the last time, he learned that Raghav had passed away. His workshop now stood in silence, abandoned and covered with dust. Inside the quiet house hung a framed photo of Raghav. Beneath it were the words, "In the end, everything passes." The sage stood there for a long time, quietly. Only then did he truly understand. Raghav was the enlightened one. He had lived fully, grateful, and at peace through both sorrow and success. Life is always changing. Joy fades. Pain fades. One day you may be at the top of the world, and the next you may lose it all. But what truly matters isn't what you have. It's how peaceful your heart remains. So instead of chasing what will one day disappear, learn to be grateful for every moment and keep your heart calm, even in the storm. Because when your heart is at peace, you'll realize the greatest truth of all: nothing lasts forever, except the peace within your soul. If you believe that peace and gratitude are the real treasures of life, leave the word "believe" in the comments below as a reminder to yourself and to anyone who's feeling lost that everything will pass, but a peaceful heart will stay forever.